Regarding the four options, normally 2 or 3 of them apply. Southern Israel's
not
desert
a growing region.
is not a growing region. You have nice vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
Non-Jews don't grow as much wine, but there is something that we do bring in wine. I'm going to try to separate between what we call cheaper wines and grape juice and your fancier wines. So it is common that certain large industrial wineries, I'm sure on your show you've differentiated between an industrial winery and a boutique winery. You can't compare the types of grow that's done. So certain industrial wineries take from Yevul Nochri or Hetem Mechira. They either choose ones, and sometimes they'll take from Chutz La'aretz, they'll take from out of Israel. And the grapes that are low level, they'll make grape juice, and the other nicer grapes they'll take from different countries. They'll try to make different types of wines. Boutique wineries are much more complicated because they're focused on local vineyards that the owners of the vineyard and the owners of the winery are very connected. It's very hard for them to leave their own product and go find foreign grapes. So they either do Otsar Beit Din. We have a winery in Israel that does Otsar Beit Din, which is tremendous. You can come to the vineyard whenever you want. This is the time of year. Maybe Rabbi Jew flying some of your listeners to go and make their own Otsar Beit Din wine. It's truly a lovely experience in the area of Judea and Samaria, the area of the southern Israel, of the northern Negev. We're talking about Kiryat Gat, where they're a place where they go and they collect yourselves. You can collect the grapes. They teach you the process of the mushing, the crushing, the fermentation, and you can make your own wine. And there's some who do Otsar Beit Din, which basically they sign a contract with different kashrut certifications to come in and produce their wine in a very halachic fashion, not just halachic in terms of kashrut, but halachic in terms of Shemittah. And that wine is provided to the larger public as well.
Wait, the Otsar Beit Din, people, how is it acquired? How does the Beit Din acquire it? Or
right.
People
so
deliver it to the Beit Din?
So there are 2 forms of Otsar Beit Din that are done. I won't get into too much of the complicated halachic jargon, but what happens is there is a Beit Din where they provide workers that do it for free. They come in and they work and they receive minimal payment to come in and crush the grapes. Certain additives aren't added. Maybe tartaric acid might not be added. Certain ways of aging is allowed, but there's sometimes minimal stuff done. They come produce the wine at the vineyard. The owner of the vineyard and winery gave over basically the wine in theory belongs to the Beit Din. And there are 2 options. Either they're given out at areas where those can pick it up for almost free, or they're sold in certain stores for minimum cost. I should mention, Rabbi Jew, saying I did not mention, I think it's important to realize, is that wine or grape juice made in Otsar Beit Din has a unique holiness called Kedushat Shvit, the holiness of Shemittah. That when a wine is picked, that it's not from non-Jews, and Shemittah applies, it has a special holiness. It can be drinking only in Israel. It can be drinking in a certain fashion. It can't be wasted. It can't be made into certain things. So it makes the wine, it takes your lovely boutique Shemittah wine to a whole other level.
So it cannot be brought outside of the land of Israel.
That is correct.
Okay. But even for diasporian Jews, if they were to visit Israel in the next several years and they come across an Otsar Beit Din wine, so you said you can't waste it. Is that one of the stipulations?
One of the issues is, for example, if you drink a cup of regular wine, I'm sure it would never happen to any of your listeners, the type of wine you drink. But there's a little bit left on that little cup, a little area where it seeps in on the bottom of the cup there. So in a regular year, you might wash it out. On Otsar Beit Din, you have to add water and drink it. Every single drop is holy. Can't let it fall out. If you were to see Otsar Beit Din in Israel, there are halachic authorities who would allow you to take minimal amounts and bring it to America and then drink Kedushat Shvit there. But I would ask a common halachic authority about how to go about this correctly.
Interesting. So people do that?
Yes, there are people who do buy Otsar Beit Din wine or receive Otsar Beit Din wine as a gift, and they take minimal 2, 3, 4, 5, however bottles you drink, and they do bring it to the States or overseas to drink them.
Wow.